comprehension passage and also understand how to crack the questions given under it. So let us start with a quick reading of the passage. Understanding how to identify and think about the form and content of art is a basic first step to getting the most out of the experience of visual art. We need to understand that while reading, we need to identify the keywords so that when we come to the questions, we are able to quickly mix and match and come towards our answers very quickly. So understanding how to identify and think about the form and content of art. So the first sentence of the passage gives us the topic that we are going to talk about art and how to understand the form and content, the two elements of art. That becomes the first basic step to getting the most out of the experience of visual art. Here we will define form and content and begin to understand why they are important. So the passage directs us towards two goals, one defining and second trying to understand. Two basic considerations we need to be acquainted with are form. So again a keyword, two basic considerations. The first one is the form, which is clarified further as the physical and visible characteristics inherent in works of art. And the second one is the content, the meaning we derive from them. So what we understand, form talks about the physical and content talks about probably the clues and also what meaning is derived from it. Formal distinctions include a work size, medium such as whether it could be a painting, drawing, sculpture or other kind of work, and descriptions of compositional elements such as the lines, shapes and colors involved. So somehow we understand that these are extra details which may or may not be used further in the questions. Issues of content include any visual clues that provide an understanding of what the art tells us. So content talks about understanding of what the art tells us. Sometimes an artwork's content is vague. We can always think of an example of a modern art in which sometimes we feel the painting looks or seems to be vague, but then it needs some more information than which is present in the work itself. Ultimately, these two terms are roped together in the climb, which means in the process to understand what art has to offer. And which are these two terms which are roped together? The one which we had read in the beginning, content and form. Select a sentence in the passage that, if true, supports the claim that meaning of an artwork requires artist's intention to be fully understood. Now, as we have understood the passage very clearly, that we have understood two forms, two considerations are important. One is the form, the other is the content. So here we talk about artist intention to be fully understood. Which sentence helps us to support the claim? So if we quickly scan through the passage, we understand that the first talks about introduction. So therefore, using elimination method, our answer is not here because it's not a claim as such. It's just the beginning, the introduction. Generally, the layout of the passage is that the second paragraph contains some extra added information and the claim, supports or conclusions are found at the end. But still, to be on a safer side, we can quickly glance through it and understand that here we just have the two considerations along with the examples. So let's come to the end. Sometimes an artwork's content is vague or hidden and needs more information than is present in the work itself. So we clearly understand that sometimes, since the content is vague, we need some more information in order to understand and comprehend. So therefore, this clearly becomes the answer for the question 1. Okay, so now let's come to question number 2. Question number 2 says, which of the following would be an example of the form in art? Now, form in art, again the keyword quickly takes us over here, form, which talks about the physical, the visible characteristics inherent in works of art. So we're just focusing on something which we can look at, something which is clearly visible. So coming to option number A, the emotion evoked while seeing a painting. Now again, following the elimination method, since it's talking about emotion which is not physical and visible, we strike off because A is not our answer. Coming to option number B, the artist's use of thick, short brush strokes. Obviously, we can look at the strokes of the brush, whether they are thick or short. So yes, B is the option. Coming to C option, the use of vibrant colors in a painting. Definitely, it is also one of the physical and visible characteristics which is inherent. So therefore, C is also the correct answer. And as the question says, consider each separately and select all that apply. So therefore, the answers are B and C for question number 2. Okay, so now let's come to question number 3. Question number 3 says, according to the author, what helps us to understand art? So as we have understood, there are just 2 basic considerations to understand art: form and content. Okay. So when we talk about form, we bring to our mind all the physical and visible characteristics, whereas content talks about the clues or probably the intentions behind the work. So A part, the visual clues present in an artwork. Definitely a yes, because it falls in the content category. So we mark A as one of the options. Coming to option number B, to be able to think about the content and form of an artwork. This clearly gives us both the considerations which we had read in the passage. And the last one, the colors and tonalities used in a painting. Definitely a yes, because this talks about the form. So therefore, all 3 options A, B, C are the correct answers. Have a good day.